Make your day right. Giliboni Online TV. Kupata habari mpya na kwa haraka kila siku, usisahau kusubscribe kisha like na comment. Giliboni Online TV.
Your Excellencies, the macroeconomic position of our region remains critical for the realization of the goals that we have set for our region. The general economic environment has been relatively stable during the year. Economic growth averaged at 3.1% in 2018 compared to a growth of 3% in 2017. Botswana, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Madagascar, and Tanzania observed strengthened economic growth, and only the United Republic of Tanzania made the GDP growth of 7% in 2018. The capital GDP for the region improved slightly from $4,004 in 2017 to $4,171 in 2018. All member states except one recorded positive growth in per capita GDP in 2018. There was an improvement from only the 5 member states, namely Botswana, DRC, Mauritius, Seychelles, and Tanzania, that recorded positive growth from 2017. The annual inflation rate decreased to an average of 8% in 2018 from 10.1% in 2017. This slowdown in inflation is associated with, among others, favorable weather conditions in some member states, low demand pressure, and stability in exchange rates. Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Madagascar, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, Seychelles, and South Africa, and Tanzania made the inflation target rate of 3 to 7%. A downward trajectory in investment and savings registered since 2014 continued in 2018. The region recorded investments of 22.8% of GDP in 2018 compared to 24.4% in 2017. Botswana, Lesotho, Seychelles, Tanzania, and Zambia performed above the regional target of 30% of GDP for investment. On the savings side, the region remained subdued at 19.9% of GDP in 2018, lower than 20.6% realized in 2017. Only Botswana, Mozambique, and Zambia attained the regional saving target of 30% in 2018. The fiscal deficit averaged at 3.1% in 2018 compared to 4.3% of GDP in 2017. Angola, DRC, Mauritius, Seychelles, and Tanzania made the fiscal deficit target of 3% of GDP in 2018. Public debt maintained an upward trend across all member states in 2018, where the region's public debt increased to 48.8% of GDP, slightly above the 47% recorded in 2017. The number of member states that made the regional target of public debt of 20% of GDP remained constant at 11 in both 2017 and 2018. Najua Kiswahili hakijawa lugha rasmi ya SADC, lakini kwa vile niko Tanzania, naomba niseme kwa kifupi nimesema nini, ili wananchi walio wengi waweze kunielewa. Nilichosema, nimesema kwamba uhimilivu wa uchumi ni nyenzo muhimu sana katika maendeleo. Nimetoa takwimu ya jinsi nchi wanachama zilivyokidhi vigezo vya uchumi mpana wa SADC. Tuna vigezo, na takwimu hizi zimeonyesha kwamba nchi wanachama zinafanya vizuri, na Tanzania ni miongoni mwa nchi wanachama ambazo zinafanya vizuri. Na kwa kipekee kabisa, Tanzania ni nchi pekee yake ambayo imeweza kufikia kigezo cha kufikia 7% ya ukuaji wa uchumi. Kwa hiyo naomba mjipongeze, lakini pia naomba tuzipongeze nchi za SADC kwa ujumla wake kwa kujitahidi katika kukidhi vigezo hivi vya uchumi. In spite of the progress made as demonstrated by the macroeconomic indicators, tropical cyclones Idai and Kenneth had devastating effects on some of our countries, but in particular, unions of Comoros, Madagascar, Malawi, Mozambique, South Africa, and Zimbabwe, resulting in unprecedented loss of lives and livelihoods and the destruction of our property. I would like to express our deepest sympathy to the countries and people affected by Cyclone Idai and Kenneth. SADC responded swiftly by releasing $500,000 to the 3 countries that were mostly affected. And they also launched a regional humanitarian appeal. May I extend our gratitude to His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, the chairperson of SADC, for his timely response, and the member state, united agencies, and other partner institutions, civil society organizations, the private sector, and individuals that supported the affected member states during these challenging times. As a result of the national and the regional humanitarian appeals, a total of $203 million translating to 41% of the required $491 million has been mobilized. As a long-term strategy, SADC is in the process of operationalizing the Disaster Preparedness and Response Strategy and Disaster Response Fund. As climate change intensifies, climate-related disasters are predicted to increase in frequency but also in severity, further compounding the increased threat to the health and the well-being of human and non-human species worldwide. As such, there's a need for the region to undertake interventions to lessen the impact of these disasters. The region also needs to undertake interventions to reduce its footprint on climate change through, among others, adoption of clean technologies to reduce carbon dioxide emissions, combating deforestation, and increasing reforestation to enhance carbon reduction measures. Your Excellencies, implementation of the 38th SADC Summit theme of promoting infrastructure and youth empowerment for sustainable development that you adopted in 2018 August in Windhoek, Namibia, progressed very well. Attention was on the amplification of youth voices through the SADC Youth Forum. In this regard, numerous activities were implemented that resulted in the development of a framework on promoting youth innovation, entrepreneurship, and leadership. This was in a recognition of the importance of youth and the need to mainstream youth empowerment in SADC programs. To this effect, your youth empowerment will remain a continuous SADC agenda. May I thank His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, the chairperson of SADC, for his vision and for overseeing and guiding the implementation of the 38th Summit theme and for pushing it forward as part of the regional integration and development agenda. It was a theme and is going to remain a SADC agenda as we move forward. We thank you very much, Your Excellency. Excellencies, peace and security and stability are essential in creating a conducive political and a social environment for livelihood and to thrive the business to operate and flourish. During the year, the region maintained its enviable record of peace, security, and stability. Furthermore, consolidation of democracy had remained on a right trajectory. Since your last meeting in August 2018, 6 member states, namely the DRC, Eswatini, Madagascar, Malawi, South Africa, and Zimbabwe, conducted elections which were credible and peaceful. Where there were electoral disputes, legal processes were followed in handling such complaints. Electoral disputes are a healthy part of democratic process, and when subjected to due process of the law, they reinforce legitimacy and credibility of the democratic system, as we evidenced during the year in our region. Your Excellencies, while SADC region enjoys peace and tranquility, terrorism and other transnational crimes continue to be matters of great concern. Organized crime also poses a significant threat to peace and security and also undermines regional economic integration. It is therefore imperative that SADC member states continue to cooperate and undertake joint initiatives to address this menace of great concern to all of us. Gender-based violence also continues to adversely impact on the socio-economic development of our region. A study undertaken by the SADC Secretariat on Gender-Based Violence in the region, among others, shows that gender-based violence is a common phenomenon in SADC. Prevalence rates vary across member states, with physical violence ranging from 6 to 34%, it is very high. Sexual violence from 4 to 26% is equally high. And emotional violence from 15% to 37%. With everyone's commitment, we can eradicate this unacceptable practice of gender-based violence. Your Excellencies, during the year, SADC remains seized with the implementation of SADC industrialization agenda that is anchored on technological and socio-economic transformation as a means of addressing poverty, inequality, and the underdevelopment that bedevil our region and the continent at large. Industrialization remains the topmost priority of our region. Effective industrialization requires partnership between public sector and private sector and the other regional and international partners. The private sector is the engine of development as it creates jobs, undertakes economic production, contributes to government revenue, and helps to lift the living standard of our people. The 39th summit theme, a conducive environment for inclusive and sustainable industrial development, for increased intra-regional trade and the job creation, is very timely. For the private sector to drive our industrialization agenda, it needs to be competitive, adaptive, and plugged into regional and global value chains. This requires knowledge-based capabilities, appropriate skills and technologies, infrastructure to leverage industrialization, as well as regional and national policies to support private sector development and its effective functioning. Both the COMESA EAC SADC Tripartite Free Trade Area that was launched in 2015 and the African Continental Free Trade Area, whose agreement entered into force on the 30th May of 2019, will require that the private sector in the SADC region is positioned to compete and utilize the opportunities from these expanded free trade zones of over 1.2 billion people. In order to enhance public-private partnership and anchor the industrialization process, we have introduced SADC annual business industrialization weeks. The industrialization weeks bring together different stakeholders to showcase innovative entrepreneurial ventures in the region, promote experience sharing, and encourage the brokerage of investment partnership. This year's Industrialization Week was held very successfully on the 5th to the 9th of August in Dar es Salaam, during which the SADC Business Council was launched. The private sector is therefore encouraged to use this platform and contribute to the SADC development agenda. Tunaishukuru sana serikali ya Jamhuri ya Muungano ya Tanzania na wadau wote walioshiriki katika kongamano hili, lakini hasa kwa maandalizi mazuri yaliyofanywa na serikali ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Ilikuwa ni kongamano ambalo lilileta watu wengi sana, haijawahi kutokea tangu tumeanza makongamano haya. Your Excellencies, as part of the implementation of SADC Industrialization Strategy and Roadmap 2015-2063, a protocol on industrial and mining vision and action plan were developed during the year. The regional mining vision aims at optimizing sustainable extraction and development of mineral resources that are abundant in our region. On the other hand, the protocol on industrial seeks to promote diversified, innovative, and globally competitive regional and national industrial bases. Recognizing the contribution of small and medium enterprises, The Secretariat, in collaboration with the UN Economic Commission, UNECA, conducted a study on small and medium-scale enterprises. The study will be used to develop a framework to enable SMEs to be among the key drivers of industrialization. While we celebrate the progress made, it is important to critically analyze the pace at which we are moving and acknowledge that our growth of the manufacturing sector remains slow. The sector grew by 4.3% in 2018 as compared to 4.6% in 2017. And the share of the manufacturing sector value added to overall GDP for SADC region was 19.9% in 2018, slightly up from 11.5% and 11.2% in 2016 and 2017 respectively. This is a matter of concern, considering that we are far from attaining the targets that we set for ourselves. As one of the targets outlined in the industrialization strategy, we committed to increase the share of manufacturing value added in GDP to 20% by 2020 and 40% by 2050. And we are still at 11%. We are only left with a few months before 2020. We therefore need to intensify our efforts if we are to reach the targets that we have committed to ourselves, and indeed if we are to industrialize. Given the slow growth of manufacturing sector, intra-SADC trade remains slow. Intra-SADC imports declined from 21% in 2016-2017 to 20.6% in 2017-2018, while intra-SADC export declined from 24% to 22.4% over the same period. These data, what the data says is that indeed we are making progress, but we need also to intensify our efforts. Your Excellencies, in spite of the recorded progress, the road ahead of us is still long, and attention needs to be paid to a number of issues, among others, continued and concerted efforts in promoting macroeconomic stability and the consolidation in our macroeconomic stability consolidation in our region. This is essential to win business confidence and ensure predictability of in our economies. Addressing the energy deficit that the region continues to face, with many countries producing below installed capacities, it is important to diversify our energy sources, as energy is fundamental in powering industrialization. During the Industrialization Week, a number of us noted the efforts in developing Nyerere hydroelectric power project, and indeed we still commend this, and we believe this is the way to go. Addressing infrastructure gap, in doing so, enhance productivity and the ease cost of doing business. Concerted effort to enhance knowledge-based capacities and innovation to increase productivity as well. Giving more space and a policy priority to private sector, in particular the micro, small and medium-scale enterprises. And lastly, giving special attention to gender equality and youth empowerment as means of leveraging the demographic dividend. May I also mention that SADC is undertaking the mid-term review of the revised Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan and the Strategic Indicative Plan for the organ. We have also begun the process of developing a new Regional Strategic Development Plan 2020-2030, a new SADC Vision 2050. These processes should provide us an excellent opportunity in articulating the SADC we want in the 21st century. Our overall aspiration should be to engineer a region that is strong, competitive, prosperous, resilient, economically transformed, and developed, democratic, and peaceful. These aspirations are consistent with the goals of the African Union Agenda 2063 and the United Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development, of leaving no one behind. And they are also in tune with the founders of our organization aspirations where all the citizens enjoy high living standard and peace. Let us participate in shaping the SADC we want. As I conclude, allow me to extend our gratitude to the chairperson of SADC, His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, President of the Republic of Namibia, for his exemplary leadership and the guidance during the year. Indeed, his leadership has been instrumental in attaining the success recorded by SADC during his tenure, some of which I have presented, but there are many I cannot present all of them. As the SADC chairperson, we thank you very much, Your Excellency. May I also thank the chairperson of the organ on politics, defense, and security cooperation, His Excellency Edgar Chawalungu, President of the Republic of Zambia, for the outstanding guidance provided in the implementation of the work of the organ during the year. Let me also recognize and thank my Deputy Executive Secretaries and the Secretariat staff for their support and hard work that enabled the discharge of my duties and the delivery of the Secretariat mandate during the year. I thank you very much. Without you, I'm nothing. Allow me to express gratitude to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation under the leadership of Honorable Professor Parapagamba Kabudi, the Chairperson of Council, for the dedication that enabled the successful preparations of the summit.
Mkuu wa chuo kikuu kishiriki cha Marian Maruko cha Mtakatifu Agustino Sauti anapenda kuwatangazia umma kwamba chuo kinaendelea na udahili wa wanafunzi katika ngazi ya shahada kwa mwaka wa masomo 2019-2020 katika masomo yafuatayo: Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Statistics, Bachelor of Education in Science, Physics and Mathematics, Bachelor of Education in Science, Geography and Biology, Bachelor of Education in Science, Geography and Mathematics, Bachelor of Education in Science, Physics and Biology. Muombaji awe na ufaulu wa angalau D2 kwa kidato cha 6 na kuendelea, au na stashahada kwa kiwango cha ufaulu wa GPA 3.0 na kuendelea katika masomo ya science. Namna ya kuomba kujiunga: tembelea tovuti yetu www.maruko.ac.tz au fika chuoni Marian Maruko, Bagamoyo. Ada ya udahili ni shilingi 10,000. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu nambari 0769832937 au 0713751098 na 0674098660. Mwisho wa kupokea maombi ni tarehe 13 ya mwezi wa 9 mwaka 2019. Imetolewa na afisa udahili Maruko. Wisdom and knowledge for freedom. Make your day right. Giliboni Online TV. Kupata habari mpya na kwa haraka kila siku, usisahau kusubscribe na kubonyeza button ya notification.